quick reminder, the Catholic Church has never actually excommunicated anyone. You excommunicate yourselves by denying God. The Catholic Church just files the paperwork.
Martin Luther was a Catholic priest and monk and had some issues with the practices of the Catholic Church in the 1500s. So he wrote these issues out, wanted to have a discussion on them, but the Pope told him to shut up and get in line. Luther did not, as he thought he was bringing up some good points, and he was promptly excommunicated. Not only that, the papacy had Emperor Charles V declare Martin Luther an outlaw, so anybody could kill him, it wasn't a crime, and also it would be a crime to give Martin Luther shelter or any amount of food. What did Martin Luther do to deserve this death sentence? He said that selling indulgences was bad. At that time, the Catholic Church would sell indulgences, which allowed the owner forgiveness of sins. The basic premise is that you give the church money and they will give you a piece of paper that will forgive some of your sins because the church could use the treasury of merit on your behalf. Luther didn't like this for a variety of reasons because it gave the church a huge amount of money and corrupted everybody involved and turned God's love into an economic transaction. He also thought the idea of purgatory was not biblical and it was mainly uplifted to sell indulgences, which it was. And you know what's wild? The Catholic Church went through a reformation because of this. In 1567, just 50 years after Martin Luther brought all of this stuff up, Pope Pius V forbade tying indulgences to any financial act, basically codifying Luther's ideas into the Catholic Church. But Martin Luther still remains excommunicated by the Catholic Church because he said something they didn't like and the Catholic Church is too embarrassed to admit that it was wrong. I'm not even talking about the thousands of Muslim and Jewish Spaniards who were burned at the stake during the Spanish Inquisition, or the way that the Catholic Church enriched itself through slavery and serfdom throughout the US and the whole of the world, or the thousands of indigenous Americans who were killed because of Catholic doctrine, indirectly or directly in the case of residential schools, or the thousands of priests and nuns who were abusing children for countless years, which is still being covered up by the papacy. This creator has the presumption that the Catholic Church is perfectly executing the will of God, which is laughably false to anybody who has actually studied the Catholic Church. I'm a Lutheran. There's a lot of ways my church has also fallen short, and I try to speak to that. But I can't imagine the self-delusion required to say something like this publicly when the evidence is so clear.